Good morning, 24th of March 2014. Hello to Anna. Sorry I hadn't replied until now, but I have made several recordings and they've all failed. They've all failed. So I've had some problems with the sound on the computer. I think I've sorted it out now. I've done a test recording, so I think this is going to be okay. It's quite frustrating because when I make a recording, I put all my heart and soul into it. So I feel somewhat flat at the moment. In reply to your email of the 9th of March, which coincidentally was my sister Christine's birthday. I think she would be 70 or 71. I'm just reading your last email to me on the 9th of March. And sorry to hear about your brother's wife. Hope your dad's okay. I hear you're going to see Daphne, my cousin. Do I have any other cousins in the area? That's Arthur's daughter. And Arthur, I think, visited me in Bristol about 1950. I'd be about 10 or 11. I believe he was a coach driver, or it could have been Tom. I'm not sure which one it was. It was the one who was a coach driver. We were living in the basement, damp, dank, dark basement, where my father used to make little coins out of tin, cut them into a circle, so he could put them into the gas meter. We only had 2 rooms there, and a tin bath, which was used on a Saturday. It was kept outside on a nail, brought in on the Saturday, and Saturday was the time when we all had a bath. We had no hot water. There was only one tap, which was cold water. Mother used to put buckets on the gas stove, and us 3 children, Christine being the youngest, and then me, and then Pam, all had our bath, one after the other. Of course, the water got increasingly dirty, but my mother would always get us to stand up. First of all, sitting, of course, she would rinse her hair with water, which she would mix with jugs with cold and some hot water. Quite a paraphernalia as a Saturday night bath time. And then we'd stand up, and then she'd pour water over us, and so that we were clean, rinsed in clean water. And of course, I wasn't. Then we would go to bed, but then I think my mother would have her bath in the same water, and I don't know what would happen, but I presume my dad would do the same rinsing procedure, and then my dad was probably the last. So pretty primitive arrangements for bath night. But I would say this, that it was quite common with children at that time to have what they call knits. And there was, at the school, there was called a knit nurse who would check the children's hair regularly for insects, for nits. But we never had that. So obviously our hair was washed properly and we were clean. So that was in St Paul's Road, Bristol, when my uncle came and he knocked on the door. I went to the door and he said, "I'm your uncle." I'm not sure whether it was Tom or Arthur, but I do know that he was a coach driver who I believe who died. Well, yes, I was getting on. But anyway, he said, "I'm your uncle," and he gave me, he pressed half a crown into my hand. So that was, I'm not sure, I think it might have been Tom. But anyway, you were saying that Daphne was Arthur's daughter. I'd love to hear more about my cousins. And in fact, I'm quite confused about my whole family tree from the GAWLEY side. I would love if you could just, what you could put on paper so that I would have some kind of idea. Because I'm getting old now and my memory's not as good as it was. And I get confused about who is who. When you said that you went to, was it Michael that died? And Michael was son of, I'm sorry, I'm awfully sorry, put it on an email to me, who, you know, so that I know who is who. Yeah, sorry to hear that work is a bit stressful at the moment. It was the same with me before I retired, and also Lisa now is retiring in 2 or 3 weeks' time, and she's what, 62? It was. She was born 51, so she'd be 63 this year, I think. Yeah, she's worked hard as a teacher and also as a union shop steward. And this week she was in Helsinki. She flew to Helsinki. She left at 10 in the morning. She got back at 11 o'clock at night. And maybe it's her last trip to Helsinki. I don't know. We haven't discussed it. But there is a time when we all feel we want to take it a bit easier and retire. And I understand that's how you feel at the moment. And yeah, maybe that's what you should do. You should retire when you feel you should and when you can afford to do it, of course. Thank you so much for the photos. I think the last one you sent me, little boy, it looked like me, but it's somehow I don't think it was me, but it may be. But I can't suggest who else it could be. I like The Voice, the TV show The Voice. When I first saw Sally Barker, the first time her first audition, I like a little bit of a bet now and again, and I put $1 on her at 20 to 1. And then because I had a bit of luck, I had a bit of spare cash, I put another $55 on her at, I believe it was, oh, the price then was about 3 to 1. So if she does win the show, she's the favourite now, 11 to 4 favourite. If she does win the show, I think I would get about $200. Well, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I can't drink because of my health. And I stopped smoking when I was 60 because I used to get bad bronchitis. And as a baby, I had pneumonia, and I think my lungs are my weakness. But I'm fine at the moment. But I don't like cold, wet, windy, damp weather. I need either cold, dry weather or warm, sunny weather. In other words, I like high pressure. And also, when the weather changes and it's getting wet, I've got the typical thing which old people get, is arthritis. And also, I've got fibromyalgia, I've got osteoporosis, I've got bad knees, I've got bad back, I've got peripheral neuropathy, which sometimes my feet are on fire, I can't walk or I can't stand, and sometimes my whole body is burning. That's peripheral neuropathy. and then I've got the chronic kidney disease, which, all in all, it looks like I'm falling apart. But I don't feel too bad. Mornings is my best time. Just take a drop of tea. Just take a drop of tea. Um, oh, Call the Midwife. We adore that program. My wife and I, we adore it. I watch a lot of documentaries, historical. I do. I love history. I like nature, wildlife. I watched all the war. There was a whole series of World War One. There was 10 parts to it, and yeah, okay. I haven't. I'm sorry, I haven't a clue. Yes, that's good. Your address? Yes, you live in Hitchin. Yeah, great. Narnia, I don't know much about. I know that Marcus liked all those books. And oh, you read to your grandson. That's nice. That is nice. Tell me more about your family. I'd love to hear. And as for my children, well, it's a long story, a long, painful, distressing story. And also, you mentioned, did I send you a link about Whitstable Fishing Harbour? I did. I did send it to you. These videos are on YouTube. I think there are three parts. It tells the story of my trip with my fishing boat from New Haven in Sussex to Whitstable in Kent. Quite a hairy trip in a force 9 gale in March. Probably one of the most stupid things I've ever done. But I survived it, and those videos would tell you more about that particular experience. Yeah, I understand that Facebook does take time, but I do automatically post my videos to Facebook. I don't use Facebook myself very much. I don't think anyone really is so interested in seeing what I do. But when I'm not here, I sometimes wonder that when I'm not here any longer, when I get to my end of my retirement, when I shuffle off this mortal coil, maybe it could be in 50 years. If Google is still going, if the internet is still going, I guess my stuff will stay forever and ever and ever on the internet. And can you imagine me being able to see YouTube videos of my dad about his Navy times and his 5 years in China, his 4 years in Malta, his 7 years in submarines? Can you imagine how wonderful it would be for me to be able to watch videos of my dad, hear him speak, and to hear all these wonderful stories, which I know mostly I have forgotten. But I love my dad so much. He left me so much in the culture, music, literature, and I haven't really got much, only my memories. But when I'm gone, my memories will be gone, and my children will not know anything about their grandfather, and they're my children's children. But even 2 or 3 generations down the line, they might want to hear about me, or they may not. But that's why I'm doing this, because it's like a diary. Some people like to keep a diary. Anyway, enough about me. The blog links will not work, so don't try. Don't try. If I write a blog which I think is particularly interesting, I will send you the URL link. But love to all of you in the UK. Whoever watches this, my thoughts are with you, Sally, John, Angela, and Marcus. My nieces Karen and Sandra. My dear sister Christine. my dear departed sister Pamela, who died in 1979, my dear dad, who died in 1965, my dear mother, who died in 1999. My prayers are with you all, with my sister's children, with Christine's children, Connie and Nancy, who died at the tender age of 27 after a fight against cancer, who had left a daughter, Billy, who now is 17 or 18, who's doing very, very well in drama school. Very, very pleased for Billy. And then there's John Harrison, who was Pierce. He didn't like the name, he changed his name. And then there was Simon, who's doing very well, who I believe lives in Luton. Love to all of those, all my nephews and nieces, and all their family, friends, and loved ones. And then I say, in my prayers, I also say, remember to Karen and Mike and Emma and Sam. Karen is my niece. She lives in the United States. Sandra is my niece, daughter of Pamela. I believe she lives in Bath. And then I also say my prayers, and I say Joyce, Heather, Rady, Pekka, Reg, Oda, Lassie, Zachary, Yana, Seppo, and Taya, and Marco and Tuna. These are all people that have been in my life who are no longer alive, which I like to remember. And then I thank God for all that He's given me. I also ask Him to forgive my sins, which are many. And I say God bless to all of you. Be kind to one another. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.